Hey, what's going on? It's Joe at Swing This Kettlebell in Strength. And as many of you may know, I really strained my left shoulder a couple weeks ago. And I think it was from overdoing some really heavy single arm kettlebell swings, which really got my bicep kind of angry. So then the shoulder got tight, and when I was lifting it didn't feel very good. So internal, external rotation wasn't feeling very good. So anyway, here's something that I've done lately to really work on it. So when I'm driving in my car, I take a racquetball and I literally put it against the back of my shoulder blade, so the infraspinatus. And I can do that, put it against the wall right here. It's the easiest thing you can do, right there. You search for some tender spot right there. Just let it hang out, let it kind of melt into that muscle. Feel some twitches, a little referred pain. That pain where I'm feeling right there. Now that's making the rear delt kind of twitch. So it's all connected. That's the thing. Like your muscles it talk to the whole joint. So I'm loosening up that spot, and it's really making, it feels really good. And it's just a tennis ball. I'm sorry, it's just a racquetball. You can use a tennis ball, but just slip right in the wall. So once I worked really on those softer areas, the infraspinatus, rotator cuff, back muscle, what I did was a little bit of shoulder flossing, okay? So I took a resistance band. What I'm gonna do is I put it in here. It's one of those Donnie Thompson moves. So I put it in here, right across that front of the shoulder, and I'm gonna go in a range of motion, okay? So I'm loosening, trying to work in that way, different positions, and go from this side. So I started going down and catching that bicep and front delt, and I started going into the position that I spent a lot of time in. That overhead position with the kettlebell jerk. So child's pose is an easy good way to do that. So the range of motion, I'm working into it. I'm also going side to side. I'm rotating the joint, changing position, going down a little bit lower. Now I've got that upper part of that bicep, and I can change how it feels, rotate, go back into that overhead position, side to side if I want. So really I'm just working on getting the tissue to move under the band tension in different positions, okay? So moving all around. There's a real good one. Gonna hang out and just kind of move around in that position. Go through the kettlebell jerk, go through the kettlebell snatch, all that stuff. So there, take that off. That immediately feels a little bit more loose than this side. So just not as tense. Then, what I did was I took this kabuki boomstick and I worked a little bit on that lower pec. So I'm gonna lie down. I'm going to place this in the lower rib cage, and I'm trying to work that pec from the bottom up, okay? So then I can roll up here, put my arm down, let it roll. Once I can have that position, good spot in that pec major, pec minor, then I can work in the range of motion as well. Like I said, I'm pulling this in. This is a 44-pounder, range of motion. This one's a little bit heavy for me to do this myself, but there's a way to get around it. So I keep working on this area. Now I'm going to slide down here, and I'm going to work that front delt. Okay, move. Ooh, right there. So that feels pretty tender. So a lot of older mobility WOD, supple upward stuff used to do this with a barbell, but this awesome body tempering tool is wonderful for this. You can have the smooth side, or you can have the knurled area. So then once I get into that, down to the bicep, I'm going to kind of work on that. I don't need much. That's the thing. Once you find a spot, I can shorten and elongate the biceps. I can internally, externally rotate. Kettlebell's in the way. You can see that a little bit. So right there. So I'm internally rotating that down. I'm trapping that bicep up top, and it is tight. I mean, it's really tight. All right, so once I have, once I have that, I'm gonna go and take this as well, pop up, let's get up on top, do that shoulder, here we go. So I'm setting up here. You can also do this. Notice I'm just setting that on that upper trap, and now I'm kind of moving, getting the upper edge of that shoulder blade here, right there with it, and I'm just kind of letting that melt, moving forward, backwards. See if I feel any tension in areas. Put my hand on top. I can do a little chicken wing like that. I can move my neck around. All right, so now here's the part. So I take this, it's got that rounded edge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it, put it near my armpit. I'm going to work on that subscapularis on the inside, not the back of the shoulder blade, but the inside between the rib cage and the shoulder blade. Now, the easiest way for me to do that is I'm just letting my arm hang. Now, as soon as you take your arm and push it back, you can feel it. So this is one of those things I think that really kind of messed up. So my subscap here. So what I like to do is put that arm behind the pain pill. It's a 44-pounder. Now, when I have that, I can lean, I can move in different positions. There it is. Okay. This is definitely causing me some shoulder pain. So notice, as soon as I push my hand away, that's activating that muscle, okay? So I'm actually going this way. I'm actually pushing into that pain pill. And when I do, it turns that muscle down. And I can breathe into that and just let it loosen up. And then if I want to contract, relax, I can push my hand this way. You might not see me move it, but it turns on right away. Barely, if you just think about moving your arm off that, it turns on. I know that's what's causing my pain. Ooh. So contract and then relax. I contract and then I relax. Now I'm going to go back into moving from side to side and trying to get that up. There we go. You can see I'm kind of tilting forward. I'm not putting all my weight on that, but I'm letting the weight of it do some of the work. Okay, so once again, I'm pushing the back of my hand into that. Turn it off. Turn it on. It's definitely tight. So, there we go. See how that's right where it's at. Okay, so, okay. You can also hold it here and lean different spots. So, now, it feels totally different. I did a little bit of this before I did this video, but even right there, I can get my arm in without this shooting pain over my head, because I was noticing it when I was doing heavy jerks. It felt like my arm was way out here. Now, when I'd lift back here and externally rotate, it wouldn't feel so good. So external rotation, the antagonist muscle is the subscap that turns it in. So if that was real tight on me and I'm going back like that and I'm feeling that pain and it's not my infraspinatus, I was feeling the inside, that's where I think I figured out the problem. So now when I do snatches, snatch either straight up, I can get into that position. If I can external rotate, internally rotate, it doesn't bother me. I can be out here. I feel a little tension out here, but nothing when I like side laterals or something like that. A lot of people can't lift their arms because of that supraspinatus right up here. But anyway, those are some of the things I've been doing for that, and then I'll probably go through and floss it a little bit more with Donnie's idea, and then actually get it from the back. When I get it from the back, you can see where I'm at. I move my arm, and I'll do that internal and external rotation. So now I don't have a piece of steel. I have that rubber latex band, that gives, and it's not going to hurt any areas, but I can just move around. I can press overhead, I can jerk, all those things. You can do those controlled articular things, cars. But anyway, so there, I can get that back position. I can work the teres and all those muscles. And then, even that tricep. My tricep's tight too. Taps it back to the shoulder blade. So, boom. Once again, even here, leaning forward, arching. Get into that. Can work on taking the roller and just kind of rolling forward on it. I don't feel the click that I was feeling before. Get my elbows tight to my head. I'm not feeling as much pain as I was. So that's just something that I've been doing, and I'm going to keep it up to keep that mobility in my shoulders. All right, see you later.